So can we please give a massive round of applause to the amazing Michelle McPherson. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Des. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Firstly, let me start off. Who in this room would love to earn an additional £100,000 a year? Woohoo! Right. Well, in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to give you some insights just into how to do that. But first, there's a few thank yous that I'd like to make. Big thank you goes out to Sofia for inviting me here today to speak. And another thank you goes out to Des. The biggest thank you goes out to all of you for being here, listening to me speak, and for being at this entire event. Thank you. So can we have a big round of applause for all of you? Okay, so you're probably thinking to yourself, who am I? Well, I'm going to talk to you today, firstly, about the art of flipping, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself first. So, my name is Michelle McPherson. I'm from South East London. I'm from the area of Thornton Heath. Has anybody in here heard of Thornton Heath? Yes. So I'm from good old Thornton Heath, grown up very humbly, and I've built these businesses myself from the ground up with no investment whatsoever. So I must heed to say, all of this I've done through hard graft, hard work, no investment. Hyde & Rowe has now become an award-winning company covering the whole of South East London. I have 2 offices in the Croydon area, spanning 30 staff across the 2 offices. And as you can see here, I've won a number of awards. We've won over 30 awards now. These are just a selection of some of the awards won. We won Global 100 last year. Last year, I was actually selected for a Lifetime Achievement Award with the Best Businesswoman Awards. And some of these awards, the rest of them are here, so you can see those there. So in terms of my achievements and how I've built these businesses from the ground up, here are just a selection of some of the achievements that I've done here. So basically, through the group of companies, there's 5 companies, we've generated now turning over £7 million. We've secured £6 million in annual contracts with the councils. We do a lot of work with the councils. And we've let and sold over £180 million in assets. I'm also now the author of The Female I Am. It's an autobiography really aimed at people that want to start off in business, want to really create real wealth and build themselves from the ground up. It's available to men and women, and I would urge you to get a copy because literally it tells you how I started. It tells you how I started with nothing, not a penny in my pocket, and I've managed to build these businesses. If you're looking for inspiration, that is what it will do for you. So what I'm going to talk about today is really how each and every one of you in this room can look at building sustainable wealth through property flipping. So as an agency, I've built a number of things, and this is one of the key things that I find is adaptable for any individual to do, any individual to build. So what we can teach you to do is we can teach you to transform undervalued assets, distressed assets, into high-value homes, and to make it a real strategic acquisition. And what do we mean by that? We mean that anybody can literally do it, with the help, obviously, of Hyde & Rowe. So we can help you to do that, and we can really help you to scale your success and make a really good return on investment. So, what are we going to actually teach you? We will teach you how to buy property at auction. Has anybody in this room ever bought a property in the auction? Has anybody ever wanted to buy a property in the auction? Yay. It's not actually a straightforward thing. So, you know, it's something, believe me or not, you need to be taught, and you could end up, if it's done wrongly, it can be a devastation. So, for instance, you have to complete very quickly. So, you know, you've got to have the right people behind you. If you haven't got the right people behind you, you could end up putting down a lot of money on the day, and you could also end up losing a lot of money. I know of people that have bought in the auction, I know people that have lost money because they have not been able to complete, or they haven't had the right information of how to go about things. See, it's not something that anybody can literally just do. It's very risky, but with the right information and the right knowledge, you can do it. So we can teach you how to do that. We can teach you how to secure the best properties on the open market and at the right price. We teach you how to build relationships with estate agents, because that's actually what we do. We are an estate agency. So we can teach you how to go out there, speak to more agents and get the very best deals. We work with commercial agents. We work with a number of sourcing agents. We'll teach you all of that. And of course, what all you will want is securing properties below market value. We teach you all of that. And consistently. So we're going to teach you how to strategically renovate your properties for the maximum resale. So what you want to do is you want to buy low, don't you? You want to buy low, and then you want to furnish the properties. You want to do the properties up to a level that you're going to make money. That's the main thing of flipping a property, is that you make the right return. So we're talking about flipping properties for the highest possible return. So what we would teach you, start with smaller profits. We're starting with, for beginners, we'll say between 30 and 50k profit. And then when you get experience, let's get you up to 100 grand profit per deal. Does that sound good to everyone? Put up your hand if you like the sound of that. Okay, and on top of that, what we're going to do, it's not about just refurbing the properties. What actually sells the properties is how it looks, how it's furnished. So we have a staging department where we professionally stage a property. We're going to show you how to do that. We're going to teach you it. I mean, you may say, okay, we want you to do the whole thing. I don't think we can do that. But you know what? We can teach it too. So we'll teach you how to professionally stage a property so that when it goes on the market, you can actually look at getting over asking price. So when it goes onto that market, instead of getting one offer, you're probably going to get 5 or 6. And then people are going to be bidding over because it looks amazingly well and it sells. A staged property sells 75% more quicker than a property unstaged. Was anybody aware of that? It's actually a big thing now. It's a bit of a hidden secret because not many estate agents know this. Not many estate agents are doing it. We're the only ones in our area doing this. And it absolutely sells properties so quick. For a very minor investment, but if you're doing that from the beginning and you know you're flipping for profit, you're going to make the property to a certain standard, the staging comes like nothing, really. It's just a part of the package. So we're looking at sourcing high property deals through auctions and really looking at the numbers, not just taking anything. Looking at the numbers, how do those numbers work? Do those numbers really work? Are those numbers going to make me a return? Off-market opportunities to maximize profits. Sometimes with the auctions, you don't even need to go to the auction house. You may not need to bid. You can actually do a deal before it goes to the auction. So basically, you can secure a deal and then they take it off the market for you. This is actually through the auction. It's done quite a lot. Again, that's very hidden. Not many people know about that, but you can actually do a deal where you bid on a property way before it goes to in the actual auction, and then the auctioneer will take it off. So again, you know, in terms of returns, you could look up to £100 per deal and tapping into a high demand market with exceptional returns. Has anyone in this room ever thought about flipping property and for profit? Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything stopping you doing that? Finance, yeah. Finance, yeah. There's many ways you can get finance now. There's many people doing finance. What I would say is an alternative to the banks, because the banks are, to be honest, yeah, you can get it from the banks, but they take long. So my opinion is that I would go to a lot of the shorter term finances. There's many people that will give you the finance for it, but not going through the normal Main Street banks because they take much, much longer to lend. And they might not like lending always for this type of deal. So you're better off going to the short term finances. Has anyone heard of Iwaka? Yeah, places like that. They do finance. And there's other places that do finance as well that I could give you. So, as with anything, you know, to do something strategically, to do something professionally, making sure that you get your returns in the right time, you need a power team. Does anybody know what a power team would be? Anyone know what a power team would be? No? Okay, so power team would be your solicitor, your mortgage broker, your trusted advisor. So we're going to teach you, because every broker can be a broker. They might not necessarily know how to do an auction deal. They might not necessarily know how to stick to timelines for it to go through, that you are very, keen on time. You have to adhere to 6 weeks policies and things like that. You need also a solicitor that knows how to deal with auction, that knows how to deal with quick finance, knows that he's got to complete, knows that he's got to deal with undertakings and things like that. So that's what we mean by a power team. We don't mean just any solicitor. We don't mean just any mortgage broker. It has to be a power team. So we deal with specialist brokers, expert solicitors, which keeps our relationships trusted, and it keeps the deals running smoothly. And this is a high performance team. So here we are. So you've got your deal sourcer. Deal sourcer would typically charge a fee. So we're not always going to use a deal sourcer for you. A broker who secures the right finance for you and works within the timescales. Solicitor, again, keeps the deal very clean, moving quickly, make sure that we can adhere to the timescales. You've got your builder who executes time and budget. A project manager who protects your margins. Your property staging team who maximizes your sale price. And your estate agent who makes sure that that property, when it goes on, sells at a premium. And again, I say it over the asking price. So maximizing margin. Maximizing margin is always about assessing the right suppliers. What we mean by that is getting the right kitchens, getting the right bathrooms, making sure that you are getting them at the right price. We teach you all of that. Making sure that you're not paying over the odds for your flooring, all the little gadgets that all add up. It's very important when you are maximizing budget and cost control. You've got to stick within your budgets and make sure that you don't go too much over, because obviously you want to make sure you're getting your profit. You don't want to eat into your profits too much. Does that make sense, everyone? So renovation budgets without sacrificing quality. So these are some of the pictures of properties that we stage. So this is a 3-bedroom bungalow in Croydon. So this is a blank canvas of what it was initially. And as you can see over there, there's a picture of it staged. And this is a picture of a professional property staged that's actually gone on to our service accommodation department. So what we do, we don't just renovate, we sell the lifestyle. And that's what it's all about when you're selling a property, because you will get significantly more for it. Faster sales, higher yields, and it does keep your capital moving fast. So there are some more pictures, some properties renovated for staging. So as you can see, this one here is a 2-bedroom flat in the Croydon area. This is a 3-bedroom in South Norwood. Anyone got any questions on those photos or anything? Yeah.
So, yes, one of the things is selling the story and that, but how do you get that vision? So you see a room, you look at the room like, do you use tools, or do you hire like a person to an interior designer to help create this story? How does it work?
No. Basically, we do that all in-house. All my staff are trained to do that. So we don't hire interior designers. This is all done from us.
So I've seen a lot of, there's some really great tools that
you can use AI tools as well. Yeah.
So do you use them?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do that literally. So these are all done from scratch ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah. But I know exactly what you mean, with the AI tools. So from zero to sold. So we source, we acquire, we renovate, we stage, and we sell. So we source below market value deals, just to recap. We acquire, we secure them quickly and with the right finance. We renovate, strategically refurb them with not overspending. We design them to sell a lifestyle, not just a home. and we absolutely maximize the return. Of course, you know, we flip for profit, but you can also hold. Holding is another very good return income. You know, there's management services are all good for, you know, for landlords. Is there actually any landlords in the room? Great. Yeah, so stability, it creates a lot of stability for your next acquisition. It does help. So flipping is just one of the streams that we have under the arm of Hyde & Rowe. We have also a phenomenal opportunity to invest with Hyde & Rowe. We are now franchising the brand. I am franchising the brand. So there's an opportunity. If anybody has ever wanted to get into property, learn about property and actually start from the ground with, you know, a team that has over 40 years experience. You can run your own estate agency, learn how to do sales, lettings, property management, learn all of what I've said to you today, the flipping model, property management, the property staging. We've got a HMO Bible that we teach. There's just so much. We teach the whole lot. We can teach you that under the franchise. So basically, if you decided that, you know what, I want to take the biggest step and just do a franchise, start my own business, and, you know, do property, you'd be able to acquire and, you know, get your hands on all these different packages that we offer, and we'd be able to help you with. We are franchised in the whole of England, so there's no speculation in terms of the area. We will literally look at any area. We are based in South London, and we are already opening more offices in the Croydon area, so we will look at any area. So, can I have any questions? Yeah.
Do you have any idea of how you would optimize the tax, especially in the current environment where you have, if you have multiple properties, you're being taxed at a higher rate for any income that you get off it. So how do you optimize the tax in today's economy?
Yeah. So when you say tax, do you mean on rental properties or do you mean tax in general?
Tax in general for your capital gains.
Okay, that's something that obviously you would need to speak to a tax advisor about. I wouldn't be able to give you advice on that. In terms of property tax, you know, there's things like the Section 24 and things like service accommodation. If I'm not sure, has anyone heard about service accommodation? It's a very good way of reducing your tax for your rental income and keeping a lot of your money as opposed to a normal private let. Especially when you move into the 40% tax barrier, you can save a lot of your money by doing service accommodation. It is phenomenal. My personal properties are all on it. On service accommodation, I save a huge amount of tax. And that is the honest truth of it. Private renting now, there's very, very, very little profit in it. Very little profit. And as you know, I'm sure you all know that there's a new Renters Reform Act out now, which is affecting every single landlord in the UK. So again, as landlords, you all have to look at what else you can do, what can you do to avoid this, and look at commercial contracts, because that's the way forward now. You need to look at contracts that sit outside the AST. Yeah.
What do you mean by service accommodation?
Service accommodation is fully furnished short-term lets. Yeah. Go on, yeah.
So, there's a bit of, I know there's this new legislation that's come out now, you know, renters' rights.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of understanding the new administration side of things.
Yeah.
Now with the penalties, and it doesn't seem very appealing to actually buy a home
Yeah.
to rent these days now.
Yeah.
Which is strange because I thought it's a massive opportunity, but now with this new thing that's come into place, sort of adds a bit of the ambiguity, you know, in should we buy a property now or not? Because you need to have a business structure to do that kind of business and what you're saying now.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say no. I think you can buy properties, but you need to look at how you are dispositioned, and you need to look at how you're
The structure of the business, if you're going to do
Not necessarily the structure of the business, but what type of tenancy you're going into. Because if you're going into an AST tenancy, then there are a lot of rules and stipulations. Now you can't get just rid of your tenants. You know, you need to take a DSS applicant. You can't say no now. You know, if you decide to take your property off the market and say that you're selling it and you don't sell in it, they're trying to put a rule in that you can not re-let your property for 2 years. So there's a lot of things. You need to be really careful. You know, if a tenant stops paying, you cannot just give them notice. It's open-ended now. Open-ended tenancies. Every tenancy now will be open-ended. That's what they're doing for tenants. So they're giving the tenants more choice.
So is it now that are they trying to push buyers out and going to for big corporations like BlackRock to buy mass?
No, I think what it is that the rental market is oversaturated. The rental prices are too high, and it's a way of pushing down the prices. It's a mixture of things. So unfortunately, they are hammering landlords. So it's a multitude of those type of things. Rental is, you know, they're talking about now capping rents, which they've kind of done everything the wrong way around. They're talking about capping rents, but it is a way of pushing the rents down. So because obviously you're going to have less landlords coming to the market, the demand is going to be less. It's just going to be crazy. Yeah.
Are you just focused on the UK?
Myself, at the moment, yeah. Before we go international, but yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, just clarification. So what is your offering here? You're offering franchise model? You teach people? I just want to understand.
What is, sorry? I
just want to understand what's your offering for us in here. You're talking about your franchise model.
Yeah.
Do you teach people on Are you offering your training?
Yeah. If you go for the franchise model, you get the training, the full training, yeah.
But if you don't want franchise model, if you want to just invest
in the flip,
yeah,
is that that's separate. That's training as well, yeah. Yeah, that's it. I haven't got that back to the QR code where you would contact me and then we would discuss, yeah. So you can scan that, yeah.
Could you just share your most critical lesson from starting your business and growing it?
The most critical lesson I would definitely say is choosing the right team. Having the right team around you is the most important thing. Yeah, if you don't have the right team, you're nothing without your team, put it that way.
Just a follow-up is, how did you find your right team?
Many years. But I mean, I've got a lot of staff that have been with me a long time. So my staff have been with me 10 years, 5 years, long standing. But you know, you learn lessons as you go along the way. You give, unfortunately, you give opportunities to people that you probably shouldn't have given to. But that's just a lesson learned for anybody going into business. But the right team that stay with you is immeasurable, because that is what will grow your business. The right team, people that invest in your brand. That's what you want.
And as somebody who's never invested before,
yeah.
Would you be able, does Hyde & Row like assess where I'm at in terms of like what property I may already have, how to get investment?
Absolutely.
So that's something.
Yeah, just so you know, my background is banking, so I was 16 years in banking, so I'm very good at assessing things, looking at portfolios and then giving you the advice from that. And then from there, I actually, I was a financial advisor when I left, and then I was initially approached to start a franchise. I was headhunted to run a franchise, which I did myself for 5 years before launching Hyde & Row. So I didn't just go into it like that. I went into it because I did it for 5 years and I was very successful. It was a very big brand that I did the franchise for. And then I realised, hold on a minute, I can do this. I was so good. I was one of the top performing officers. And then I went off and I did this myself. Yeah, that's how it all happened.
You are very impressive regarding the results with the achievements you have.
Thank you. Yeah.
Looking back, what's the key differentiating factor compared to the other real estate agents?
Say that, sorry, I didn't hear.
What's the key differentiating factor which made your business so successful?
Okay, so I get asked that question quite a lot, so good question. I would say we're a boutique estate agency and we offer products with an edge. That's why I always say the franchising with an edge. It's not a normal franchise. It's very different. So we offer council contracts. Nobody else in the area does that. We offer corporate contracts. We do relocations. We do service accommodation. In my area in Croydon, there's nobody doing the services we do. Nobody. So that's what we pride ourselves on, to be honest. And then on top of that, we've got a luxury sales department, and we do lettings, we do property management, we do evictions, we do the auctions, we do the whole lot. And I think, to be honest, that is what's kept us in business with the turnover going up every single year. Yeah. Am I nearly done, or am I out of time? Or am I right? Am I right for time? Yeah. Am I right for time, or are we finished? Oh. Okay, so it's been lovely speaking to you all. There is my QR code. Love to hear from you. Please do, you know, send me a message if you'd like to talk, have an informal conversation. I'd be more than happy to speak to you. Okay, and that's me done. Yeah.
Thank you. And you know, that was the first time she gave a presentation to an audience like that. So did she do well? Yeah. Let's give her a massive round of applause.